Your motherly instincts kicked in. Why didn't your motherly instincts kick in day one when you gave birth? Why? Because I was there. It didn't kick in. It didn't kick in. When the nurses came in and told you, can they talk to you about yourself? You're like, no. You just go ahead and put it out there when I was wrong. Yeah, and they said you had chlamydia.
When you think you've seen it all in the world of celebrity meltdowns and family betrayals, Chrisean Rock manages to pull the rug from under us again, only this time the drama cuts deeper than any Blueface fistfight or mugshot moment, because what's at stake here isn't her reputation or her career, it's her baby boy Little Junior, the child she's called her miracle, her anchor, the one reason she's tried to steady her chaotic life, and now in a plot twist worthy of the most toxic soap opera, the betrayal isn't coming from an ex or an internet hater, it's coming from her own sister who allegedly pulled a shocking move involving Junior that left Chrisean sobbing on Instagram Live, mascara streaking, voice cracking, crying out to the world that she's doing her best as a mother while her bloodline rips her apart. And if you think this is just another headline in her long list of scandals, you're wrong, because this feud could reshape not only her image, but also her child's future. So before we dive into the messy truth behind this family implosion, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the saga you're about to hear proves that sometimes the deepest cuts don't come from enemies, but from family.
I don't know, like how I dealt with, I just prayed and then came in here and then I don't know. But yeah, it was so deep, see, I don't even want to put my business out there, but
Chrisean's breakdown hit different this time because we're used to seeing her wild, defiant, and ready to throw hands at anyone who crosses her, but this was pure vulnerability. A mother in pain, her entire face trembling as she told fans how betrayed she felt, that her own sister would dare bring her baby into the chaos. And she wasn't screaming about Blueface, she wasn't bragging about her fame, she was begging the internet to see her heart, insisting she feeds, loves, and protects Junior with everything she has, even as the world laughs at every stumble she makes. And that struck a chord with some fans who saw her not as a train wreck, but as a young woman trying to grow up under impossible scrutiny. Yet it also fueled critics who claimed that if her sister spoke out, maybe there was truth to what she was saying, and this tug-of-war between sympathy and suspicion is what makes this saga so gripping.
like Arissa, my sisters that loves to pray. And my mom, she put that in me.
Because Chrisean isn't just fighting for her image anymore, she's fighting for her role as a mother. And in the world of celebrity scandal, nothing is more unforgiving than a mom put on trial by her own family. But let's be real, this kind of drama isn't new to the Rock family, because before fame, before Blueface, before Junior, there was already a legacy of public fights, betrayals, and Instagram lives that turned family dinners into public content. And if you followed Chrisean's story, you'll remember the viral videos of her swinging on her siblings at cookouts, the screaming matches that spilled onto timelines, the siblings who went online to call her unstable or embarrassing, and every time, instead of mending wounds in private, the Rocks put their dysfunction on display for the world. So when people heard her sister allegedly called CPS, leaked photos, or even tried to file for custody, it didn't sound like a shocking betrayal out of nowhere. It sounded like the next messy chapter in a saga where clout and family loyalty constantly collide. And for Chrisean, that made the pain worse. Because it wasn't just about one incident, it was a reminder of a lifetime where trust within her bloodline never seemed to exist. Her version of events paints the sister as a bitter, jealous opportunist hungry for attention, a woman willing to sacrifice her own niece's or nephew's privacy just to score likes and headlines. And when Chrisean lashed out on Instagram Live, she wasn't just crying tears of pain, she was spitting fire between sobs, calling her sister out for clout chasing, insisting this wasn't about concern, it was about betrayal, and that narrative quickly caught fire with her fanbase, who flooded her comments with support, urging her to block out the haters, reminding her that no one could love Junior like she does, and even rallying around the hashtag #ProtectChrisean. But beyond the supportive words, the breakdown revealed something deeper, that under the tough exterior and the viral antics, she is desperate for validation as a mother, pleading with the world to see past her mistakes and acknowledge that her baby is her everything. And in a culture where Black mothers are often judged harsher, the rawness of her tears resonated even more. Yet on the flip side, her sister has been pushing her own version of events, presenting herself as the voice of reason, the concerned auntie stepping up where she claims Chrisean fell short, and while she hasn't laid out every detail, she's dropped hints that what she's seen behind closed doors paints a very different picture of Chrisean's parenting, suggesting the chaos, the stress, and the lifestyle might not be baby-proof, and that whatever move she made, whether a CPS call, a custody filing, or just blasting private information online, wasn't about chasing fame, it was about protecting Junior. And here's where the spin gets dangerous, because depending on which side of the internet you're on, the sister looks either like a savior risking backlash for the baby's safety, or a jealous sibling weaponizing concern for clout. And in the court of public opinion, perception often matters more than reality, leaving Junior's future caught in a tug-of-war between two warring narratives that both claim to love him. Fans are as divided as ever, and the internet has become a battlefield with hashtags, memes, and long think pieces arguing over who's in the wrong. With one side defending Chrisean as a struggling young mom who deserves love, not public betrayal, blasting the sister for airing private family business online, while the other side argues that when a child's safety is at stake, loyalty doesn't matter, and silence becomes complicity. And in the middle of it all, Baby Junior's name is trending across platforms, his innocent life turned into the centerpiece of a messy debate, proof that in the age of social media, even babies can't escape the clutches of internet spectacle. And while fans argue about who's right or wrong, the only guarantee is that every click, every share, every post feeds into the blog machine that thrives on turning real human pain into entertainment. To really understand why this betrayal feels so explosive, you have to look at the bigger picture of Chrisean's life, because from the very start, her rise to fame wasn't built on stability or family support, it was built on chaos, fights, and headlines. And while motherhood brought moments of calm, like the tender videos of her rocking Junior, or the soft smiles as she kissed his cheeks, those glimpses of normalcy were constantly overshadowed by the ghosts of her past, the arrests, the fights with Blueface, the public meltdowns, and every critic waiting in the shadows ready to scream unfit the moment she slipped. So when her sister made her move, it wasn't just a one-off scandal, it was a direct hit to the most fragile part of her identity, the part trying to prove she can rise above her chaos and be the mother Junior deserves. And that's why her tears on Instagram hit different, because they weren't just about the present, they were about the weight of her entire messy history crashing down on her. The video also placed Chrisean's scandal in the larger tradition of celebrity family betrayals, drawing parallels to Blac Chyna's toxic battles with her mom Tokyo Toni, Britney Spears' conservatorship at the hands of her parents, and Summer Walker's custody disputes that spilled into the public eye, and each example showed the same pattern: family members claiming to protect while critics accused them of exploiting, blurring the line between genuine concern and control, and leaving the star trapped in a cycle where their private pain became public entertainment. And for Chrisean, the comparison was clear. Her sister's so-called protective move looked less like love and more like a familiar pattern of family betrayal. And once that narrative hits the blogs, it's almost impossible to shake, because in the world of celebrity gossip, once family puts your motherhood on trial in the public eye, you're judged forever, no matter what the truth really is. But let's pause and ask the hard question: what if, deep down, her sister truly believes she did the right thing? What if she's watched Chrisean spiral in private, seen the tears, the stress, the chaos, and genuinely thought Junior was at risk? If that's the case, was it really betrayal, or was it messy, tough love that just happened to play out in the worst possible spotlight? And here's the catch: if her only goal was protecting the child, why go online? Why make it a headline? Because once you turn private concern into public content, the narrative shifts from safety to clout. And that's why so many fans don't buy her explanation, because they've seen it before. Family members going from concerned protectors to booking interviews, selling stories, and basking in the attention, and in the end, it's Baby Junior who loses, forced to grow up in a world where his name was used as a pawn in a battle he never asked to fight. So where does this leave Chrisean, her sister, and Baby Junior now? For Chrisean, this moment marks a crossroads, because her breakdown could either be the low point before a redemption arc where she channels her pain into growth and proves she's more than the chaos, or it could be another chapter in a long book of public meltdowns that critics will use against her forever, and her legacy will hinge on whether she can flip the script from messy celebrity to resilient mother fighting for her child. For her sister, the future is murkier, because no matter how justified she feels, once you betray your blood in public, you can never come back the same, and fans will forever question her motives, whether she was truly protecting Junior or just chasing likes, and the clout she gained today could turn into backlash tomorrow when the internet moves on. And for Baby Junior, the tragedy is that he's already caught in the middle of a storm he never asked for, his name plastered across blogs and hashtags before he can even form memories. And the risk is that he grows up not knowing family unity, but family betrayal, not privacy, but spectacle. And unless Chrisean finds a way to rewrite the narrative, her sister's shocking move won't just be a headline, it'll be the prophecy that defines them all. And if we zoom out even further, this feud isn't just about one messy family or one celebrity meltdown, it's a reflection of how fame twists every relationship into a battlefield. Because when cameras are always rolling and blogs are always hungry, private loyalty becomes public performance, and suddenly family members stop being relatives and start being rivals in a game of clout. And Chrisean's saga shows us how dangerous that game really is. Because what might have been a private argument between sisters has now turned into a national conversation about whether she's a fit mother, whether baby Junior is safe, and whether her sister is a hero or a villain. And the tragedy is that none of those headlines capture the truth, which is that a young mom and her baby have been reduced to content, their most painful moments consumed for likes, views, and clicks. And if that doesn't scare you about the cost of fame, nothing will. Because it proves that once the internet smells blood, it doesn't care who bleeds, only that the story keeps going. But here's the cliffhanger nobody's talking about. What happens next? Because this isn't the kind of feud that ends with one tearful live or one blog post. It's the kind of fracture that grows deeper with every new leak, every new rumor, and every new betrayal. And if history tells us anything, the Rock sisters won't keep this behind closed doors for long. They'll drag it back to Instagram Live, they'll trade accusations, they'll fuel the blogs, and in the process, they'll dig the wound even deeper. And the real question is whether Chrisean can break the cycle, whether she can step back, protect her son, and stop feeding the machine, or whether she'll be pulled back into the same chaos that's defined her story from the beginning. And that's why fans can't look away, because deep down they know this isn't just another headline. It's the start of a new chapter in a saga where family, fame, and betrayal collide, and the ending hasn't been written yet, leaving us all wondering whether Chrisean will rise as a mother or fall as another cautionary tale in the ruthless world of celebrity drama.